Welcome back, you degenerates, to the number one fantasy football podcast in the world. I'm your host, Mike, with my dearest of friends, Billy the Wilson Kid, and Joe Green, the degenerate himself. How are you boys doing?
I'm good, Mikey. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Almost 30.
I was going to say 29, right?
Not 29. If I was 30, I would be retired in the Bahamas somewhere where I should be alone because I don't want to work past 30. So hopefully you guys make us famous and we don't have to work.
Yeah.
They're making you famous every week on the waivers.
I know. I got over almost close to – I should hit 2,000 views on this video we just had. Hopefully. We're getting there.
That was just a nice birthday gift to you, you know? Nice little 2K.
Back-to-back 1,000 videos for me. It's looking good.
It's beautiful.
It'd be nice if you could pronounce I don't even know how to pronounce the name.
Yeah, no, wait. Let's take the second. Joe Green, pronounce the name, please.
Yep, because you wrote it in the notes.
I think it's Zonovan Knight. I don't know what you said.
I totally forgot. I was like, Zonovan
Knight. Zonovan Knight.
Yeah, I really don't see what's so hard about that.
I don't know. I just see a Z.
It's just weird.
Over my head.
Yeah, just replace the Z with a J as Jonathan.
As one of our viewers, they said that's the whitest you could possibly pronounce that name.
Nice.
It's true. It's not wrong.
Mike's a big Matthew Stafford fan, so.
That's not true. Well, let's kick off week 13. We have two teams on bye, the Panthers and the Cardinals. Two teams we really don't want to see. I mean, we kind of want to see the how the Cardinals are doing, but there's nothing there. Our first game, we're obviously going to skip the Thursday night game, which is going to be the Patriots versus the Bills, which is going to be playing in a couple of hours.
Yeah, if you're listening to this now, the Patriots won by 6.
Probably.
That's quite a prediction.
Heard it here first.
So we're going to kick it off. First game is going to be Steelers versus the Falcons. Obviously, Najee got hurt. What's your thoughts, and who are you playing if he's not going?
Well, the clear second back, unlike what Jeremy Fowler probably thinks, is Benny Snell. Jalen Warren wasn't really used much. Benny Snell, 12 carries, led the backfield, broke a couple of them, more than 10 yards. Listen, the Falcons are giving up the 8th most fantasy points to running backs. I'll take the chance. Like if you have Najee and you picked up Benny Snell, you probably already owned Jalen Warren. Unfortunately, I'd rock Benny Snell if I had to in a crunch, but over like a regular starter, I'm not starting Benny Snell over these guys.
It's a good matchup.
I was going to say he just didn't practice again today. I know Rappaport said it wasn't a major injury, but it sounds like he's not trending towards playing this week.
Yeah, and it's a shame because Najee was playing good, you know. Had a touchdown, and you know, I was just getting ready, writing my another hate speech to Mr. Fowler himself. But there's only so many times I can tell you that you're an idiot, you know?
Only so many different ways.
Yeah. I mean, like, listen, Anthony McFarland was touching the ball. So it's anybody's guess. I liked McFarland. Me being a Steeler fan, last year I talked about
him. Loved him. You love him every year.
He's a good pass catcher, and I think that he can be explosive at times. But Benny Snell's just an all-around better running back and finds holes better. So
I think he's just a stronger running back, and I think if anything, the Steelers want to smack people in the mouth more than they want to do anything else. So if
this isn't a dome, if it was in Pittsburgh, I'd like it even more because it's cold up here now.
Definitely, I think it's a safe. I mean, the fact that it's going against the Falcons makes me want to more play Snell. Definitely going to play Snell over Warren. 100%. That's if you don't have running back. So I mean, if
you're struggling for running back, that's an option. But you don't put Benny Snell in your lineup over a normal guy. I do have one question, because we'll talk about it later on with another guy. Would you rather start Benny Snell or Alvin Kamara?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's an option for me. That's an option for me in the league.
I mean, I think Snell, it's touchdown or bust, I think, for him. I don't think he's going to see that many receptions. And just the fact that Kamara is just shit right now,
So who's your answer?
There's still that boom chance for Kamara. So I mean
he had
Snell can
13 yards.
Get you 11. Snell might be able to get you like 11, 12 points. It's probably what his projected is.
I mean, he had a total of 50 yards, both passing and on the ground. 13 on the ground last week. Yeah. Andy Dalton was the leading rusher last week against San Francisco. Like, that can't happen.
I think you just got to go down with the ship, though. I would just go down with the
My ship is sinking because of Alvin Kamara. I need 2 wins to get into the playoffs. So I might have to, get the ship right with Benny Snell. I don't know yet.
You also have to see if Snell's even playing.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, true.
You might not even have that option of
yeah,
Snell.
then I'm just fucked.
Yeah, then you just ride the boat.
Mm.
Not if you picked up Zonovan Knight.
I'm not saying that name. Don't even ask me. Nice
Kyle Pitts, your boy, Mike.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I think I was high on him this year, higher than the first year, because I always said tight ends don't produce the first year, but
man, were you wrong?
I projected him at 6, and he finished at 6, so I wasn't wrong.
No, I'm talking about this year.
This year, I was terribly wrong.
Yeah,
terribly.
Everything about this Falcons team, I think most people are just wrong on in general.
Yeah,
torn MCL is brutal too.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard that he's gonna miss the rest of the season. I kind of said that like when it happened. I think that was last week's episode. There was no way he was coming back, and then this week they announced he was definitely gonna miss the whole season. You're going under the knife in week 12. You're not making it back.
It's just it's ugly to see, and I don't even know what is like we said in a couple of other podcasts. Like, he's gonna end up being a buy low. Like, he could win you a championship next year if he can turn it around. Like, if he goes in the 7th or 8th round, 6th round, I think he could easily win you a championship based off of that. If he ends up being a top 3 tight end, like we all predicted he should have been.
And Mariota's no longer the quarterback.
Yeah. Sure. But at the same time, we all think that Ritter is the same QB. Not that we don't know if he's going to feature the tight end, but.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of Cincinnati football last year, and I can tell you for a fact Desmond Ridder can throw a ball better than Mariota can at this point in his career.
I think that's
a stronger arm.
But that's where, like, we'll see Kyle Pitts' value will very much be determined on who their quarterback is going into the year. Like, there's talks like they're going to try and trade for a quarterback or like go for Lamar Jackson. I don't know if that's true. Like, if the Falcons really think they're just a quarterback.
Absolutely love Kyle. Kyle Pitts goes in the 1st round if Lamar Jackson's the quarterback.
Right. So, like, that's what I'm saying. It totally is dependent on what they do at quarterback. Because I think Kyle Pitts would still be a top 3 pick unless, like, they bring back Mariota or Desmond Ridder, and I think he's probably going the 5th, 6th round.
Now, by you saying that, I haven't heard any of that. If that is true, if that's just the rumors that are going around, they need to put Ridder out there right now. Because right now he's going to be the biggest asset you have in a trade. Besides your picks, I would, no matter what team if they do get Jackson, you don't want to see what Ridder does because you're going to obviously want a QB right back.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're still fighting for a playoff spot. Yeah, they're 5-7, but they're half a game behind the Bucs, and I think we're kind of overblowing the situation. They lost to the Commanders last week, but the Commanders are a playoff team. Yeah, no, they are. Everybody in the NFC East is a playoff team.
Yeah, because we're so good. We're the best division.
So I think, they played a tough defense, and they couldn't really get anything going on the ground. So Mariota stinks, but I told you guys that before the season started.
I mean, you need to tell me that. I think Mike was obsessed with the idea that Delaney Walker 4 years ago had a great season with Mariota.
It was 10 years ago.
It was 10. He he had a great 2 years, not 1 year. Let's not I had good backing behind it.
No, you didn't.
I think
I don't know if we see Britton though. I just want to say I don't think we see him until like they're officially out of the playoffs. Then maybe we see them. Yeah, that's about it.
I hope so. I mean, the Bucs, they kind of look a lot better than they've been, somewhat. I don't know.
No, not really.
The fact that they lost their right tackle now really makes me think that the Falcons can win the division. We'll see. They have to win this game. If they don't win this is a winnable game for them, and not that it's going to be easy, especially with TJ Watt back. This game they have to win. If not, I don't see them making the playoffs.
Yeah,
facts.
Next up, we're going to talk about the Packers versus the Bears. We have this rivalry. It's never an easy game for either team, especially with Packers.
What? The Packers beat the balls off the Bears every time.
I know, but like I'm just saying, they haven't been playing good this year.
Yeah, but they still beat the balls off the Bears a few weeks ago.
It was early in the season.
Early in the season. Yeah. Now we have a Fields that is actually playing good with a good offense now behind him.
And we don't know if Aaron Rodgers is actually going to play.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like he even wanted to be there.
It's a rib injury, correct?
Yeah. It hurt his rib, and then obviously he has the thumb injury where he fractured his thumb, and he technically could sit out the season if he wanted for that, but he's afraid he's going to get Brett Favre or what's the guy that Brady took over, Drew Bledsoe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why he doesn't want to sit out. I think
Rodgers just retires after this. So
yeah, I mean, like he wasn't even going to come back.
Yeah,
and then he decided he was going to at the end. So 3 years is a long time, though. He signed for 3 years. I mean, Joe Green, you also didn't write that both Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon didn't practice on Wednesday. They did both practice today a little bit, very limited, just like sideline drills and whatnot. Doesn't say why.
A little bit of a tidbit. Dillon announced that his wife's pregnant, or girlfriend, whatever you want to call it. So,
jeez,
this could be a breakout game.
Well, is it?
Stop it.
No. We need to break this down. We need to break it down.
Stats for this.
No, it's not even that. We need to break down. Like, did she just get pregnant? Like, they just announced her they're having the baby this weekend.
No. I don't know. They showed the pictures today.
Of what? Of her pregnant?
Of her pregnant. You know, like this
of
is
the sonogram.
The fetus. Yeah.
The sonogram.
Oh, so then
we talk about fetuses.
Fetuses.
Okay.
No, it's a non-issue then.
It's not an issue.
No, it's right when the baby's born.
That's when the dad strength kicks in.
I don't know. I'm reading into this. He had a good game last week. Can he build on it? It's going against the Bears.
Yeah.
There's going to be, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, they're going to run the ball a ton. I think they're going to want to do smash mouth football. I'm reading into it, and I'm telling you, if he's playing, he's there. I feel like Dillon is a play this week.
See, the problem is...
Yeah, but what's the ceiling?
16 points.
16 points.
I mean, this year in running back, 16 points is decent.
It's a lot of points. I don't know.
Yeah. See, you know what the problem is? He's low on testosterone now. We know what he's been doing for the last month, so he's not practicing.
Well, he doesn't have to pump.
He's got no.
He's getting back his testosterone. He doesn't have to pump it no more.
Maybe, right.
Listen.
I'm just throwing random shit at the wall, man.
Flip it.
Oh god. Also, by the way, Darnell Mooney out for the season. Sucks.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts one of my teams pretty badly. I just don't have like a third wide receiver. Just brutal.
You don't know.
He finally was playing decent too. I think that's what sucks. Like, he got off to the bad start and then kind of started playing better. And
well, he has another. Like, what do you think on Claypool? You think you're gonna pick him up? Not you. I'm talking. We're on another level. I'm talking about Billy right now. You gonna pick up Claypool?
No, like regardless, like I'm impartial to all of it. Like I don't know if I really trust him because I don't think that Justin Fields has like that connection with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said,
he's going to be touchdown dependent. I feel like if anything for Claypool.
Yeah, when he was in Pittsburgh, he was touchdown dependent. He's kind of a gadget guy. So I don't know. I'd probably pass and let me see it first kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm passing on that.
I'm still not convinced Fields finishes the season. Like, it sounds like he's going to play this week. He practiced fully today. But, like, at some point, I think they're just going to be like, all right, there's no reason for us to play you anymore. I don't know when that is, but I don't know that, like, I'm all of a sudden enthused by the idea of Trevor Siemian throwing balls to Chase Claypool.
Claypool had 5 targets last week.
Who did they sign?
Boyle, I think his name was. The old Lions QB.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving great.
Yeah.
I won that Thanksgiving game.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet on the Lions.
Yep, it was tight, but...
Always bet an unknown person. Just facts.
Mike.
Yeah, it's 100% true. If you don't know the
Right.
QB and you've never seen him before, you know trickery's going to happen. I think they took a punt. They did a fake punt. And he had, like, his first pass was, like, for a touchdown for, like, a 60-yard bomb or something.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's enough of this shit game. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be a lot of running in the ball on both sides for the QB, running backs, and Montgomery. So next up, we have the Jaguars versus the Lions. This is very interesting for the Jaguars. They're on a win streak. They beat the Ravens last week, correct?
Yeah. Yes, they did. Like, I don't know how you could possibly forget.
I just basically said this all in my waiver wire video on everybody. ETN foot was limited. They said he could have went back into the game. I expect him to play this week.
Yeah, it was strange to see that he's still being limited in practice because he said he could have went back into the game. Like, he looked fine. He was joking on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like we were watching that game together, and it was
like
I was fine. I was furious.
Yeah, you deserve.
Well, I think most fantasy owners were.
I needed a win.
And the fact that Hasty was featured so hard in the passing game, in the running game, that you're like, oh my God.
I'm just yelling inside of a Buffalo Wild Wings. Those are my points.
with bad freaking service over there.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about what we're gonna do with DeAndre Swift. He has saw almost nothing. He saw 34% snaps on Thanksgiving. He looked horrible. 5 carries, 19 yards, 8 targets for 4 receptions and 24 yards.
I told you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. He was going to lose his job. And Mr. Joe Green over there called me a little bit crazy. Can't lie. He's like, nah, he's just coming back from the injury. I mean.
How many? Are we like, 4 weeks in after the injury?
Yeah, 4 weeks, and he's still 5 carries. That was a first-round pick. You just lost.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand. I think Swift's really talented. I don't know why they feel the need to be cautious with him. Yeah, I don't know what you do anymore. You can't play him. I own him in one league.
You're welcome.
Play him.
You're welcome.
And kind of until he sees more than 50% of snaps. I don't know what you're expecting. You're lucky he's gotten 10 points the last 4 weeks because of a touchdown each game, and then last week he had the receptions. But
I did have this crazy thing that I was trying to do, but like this year, a lot of my picks were in the first half of the draft. But if I was like at the turn, I was drafting DeAndre Swift, and after week 1, I would try to sell him. That was my plan the whole time. I did it to you, and if it happened again in a different league, I would have done the same thing because you can't trust this guy.
I wanted when I was doing my mock drafts in our home league, I was hoping that Swift would be there at the turn.
Oh man, it would have been a different season.
Yeah, it would have been. I would have lost because I wouldn't have went. First off, our Adams went late in our draft, and then I wouldn't have picked Barkley. I would have picked Swift because I was high on Swift.
I think a lot of people were. The talent's there. It's the guy can't stay healthy. Like, he has probably some of the worst injury luck we've seen in years. I don't want to say luck because I think he's just not built to get hit.
We all thought it was going to be different this year because he gained weight. He gained muscle. You saw all those pictures of him juiced up. We all thought it was different.
Yeah, I mean, he's just Greg Oden of football. So
he just
he was on that Liver King PED schedule That just got leaked. I don't know if you guys follow that, but that was quite comical.
Him and Will Fuller.
Yeah, Will Fuller had to retire pretty much. Couldn't pass the PED test.
It's a Lions running back curse. Javad Best retired early, so soon will be Swift.
Yeah, but Swift broke that curse where he was the next person since Best to rush for 100 yards. So like he was supposed to be that guy, and you know.
Yeah,
let's talk about our boy T. Law playing lights out football right now. Last week beat the Ravens, dominated, had close to 25 points last week, 3 touchdowns, 321 passing yards. He looked great. In the past 2 games, he's thrown close to 40 attempts per game. Just the same as anything, you have more opportunity, the better chance that you have more fantasy points. Yeah. And Baltimore is kind of in the middle of a pack defense. They're not great. They're kind of bad, but he has a good game, obviously, this week going against Detroit Lions. They're terrible at defense. And I put on everything. Yeah, at everything. And I mainly put him in the waiver video, which is that he's close to 60% owned. But the fact that he's going against Houston in Week 17, I have the balls enough to play him.
Yeah, I even like him next week against Tennessee. They're bad against the pass. The only tough 2 games he has, because you guys wrote, is he streaming playoff quarterback? It's like yes and no. A couple games yes, a couple games no. Depending.
I'm not playing him against Dallas.
No.
Yeah, because Dallas has the number 1 pass rush. They've gotten the most sacks in the league. I'm not going to go against him against the Dallas front 4 with the Jaguars line. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. And for me, this is a little bit of a hot take, kind of, sort of. Like, I know, Mike, you picked up the Jets defense in our home league. Mm-hmm. But if Zach Wilson's the quarterback, I'd play Trevor Lawrence against the Jets.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's, you have to look at both sides of the ball with things like that. I like Mike White because Mike White will stay on the field.
Yes.
Zach Wilson won't. So it gives Trevor Lawrence more opportunities, more things like that. That's something you need to look for when you're. It's not just like the defense; it's also who's playing quarterback for the other team.
Time on the field is a lot. I mean, defense players get tired, and you can't be on the field for the majority of the game. You just get tired.
Yeah.
I think he's a streamable play.
I don't think anyone was as big as a Trevor Lawrence fan as I was coming out of college. I will say that was the first game in his NFL career where where he actually looked the part of the number 1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. Like when they got the ball back with a minute and whatever it was, 20 seconds, I was like, all right, if this is like Trev's entire NFL career, he's just going to throw a pick and this game's going to end. Yeah. And he surprised me. Like, he played awesome. And I think that was the first time. I think this is really like his rookie season, because I think Bumfuck was such a bad coach last year. But like, I'm actually starting to gain confidence that he's going to become a really good quarterback for next season and maybe the end of this season. So I feel comfortable playing him in most games.
If they get a wide receiver next year and a tight end and maybe 1 more offensive lineman. I say
and a kicker.
There's a lot of things. So like they can sign an offensive lineman. I'm saying if they draft a wide receiver,
Johnson comes out of retirement.
Yeah.
No, if they draft a wide receiver, which they should, which they most likely will, guys are limit.
Remember before the show, I asked you real quick about a Marvin Jones thing. It was Marvin Jones and Nico Collins. I've made up my mind. I am gonna die on this hill. This is a Marvin Jones revenge game. 3 touchdowns.
Oh, maybe.
Detroit Lions. He's only had 2 touchdowns in the whole year. That's just screams Marvin Jones to me. I don't know why. I'm sorry if I failed you this week, fellas, but Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones is my play.
Maybe.
We were still doing, stud of the week. Marvin Jones is my stud of the week. Just on a hunch.
Only 3 targets last week.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been seeing the ball a lot, but, the Lions are just dog shit in the secondary. Revenge game.
His best game was against Houston. He had 11 targets for 7 catches, 104 yards. I would compare Houston's defense with the Lions. So
Yeah, absolutely. And just add in a couple touchdowns. 35-point game. Here we go. I'm loving it.
I think that wraps up this game. Let's talk about the Jets versus the Vikings. Jets coming off a hot win. Mike White, obviously. Anybody named Mike is going to show up.
I knew
He's
that
Tom
was
Brady.
coming.
Tom Brady Jr.
Yeah. I mean, if
I
they
knew
didn't,
that was
let's
coming.
be real. If they didn't play against Trevor
Yes.
Siemian, they lose that game. But, you know?
I don't know if they lose. It would be competitive.
Yeah.
I don't think that it would have been like 23-27 game, something like that.
Yeah.
Biggest news is probably Michael Carter injured ankle. He still didn't play today. He didn't practice today. So now we have to talk about Knight being the top rusher over there. Knight.
There's a couple nights on this team. Can you tell me?
Zonovan.
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 I think that's how I pronounced it.
I think you're right. I think
that's
how
so
you did
bad,
pronounce
dude.
it.
I didn't watch the waiver wire thing yet. That's so bad.
Zonovan.
Oh God.
Zonovan. Why do you
Yeah,
think the
it's-
comments
that's
were
just
that's
the
the
whitest way
whitest
to say
thing
that.
ever?
It's better. It sounds better.
All right, Matthew Stafford. All right. Oh, God.
Honestly, I said that like 5 times in like the cut up videos that I just couldn't post. I couldn't send it. I was like,
You could have asked us. You could have called me and asked. You know.
I tried to. I was gonna think about writing it into like Google Speak to Me, but I don't even think it was gonna say it right either.
I mean, you had better chance than not.
So, what's your thoughts on Knight?
I don't really have a lot of information on Michael Carter.
He's
Is
not-
he going to be out for multiple weeks? Is that like the?
No, I think it's gonna be 1 week.
Yeah.
1-2 weeks. Yeah.
I like him this week. I think. I mean, the ball's got to go somewhere. None of these receivers outside of Garrett Wilson are really doing anything. So it leaves plenty of targets open in the passing game. Do we have confirmation who's the quarterback this week?
Mike White. You think Mike White's
I would
gonna?
assume it's Mike White.
There's no way you're gonna come off a win and be like, you know what? Let's put Zach Wilson back in.
Listen, I'm just asking. It doesn't make sense,
sounds
but
like
this
it.
is also the Jets. So I'm just trying to make sense of it. You know, I thought that we'd see more Elijah Moore last week, and we didn't. But as far as Knight, yeah, I like him as a streaming option. Very similar to how Benny Snell is. Just obviously you're getting points a different way, more towards the passing game. But if you have a strong 2 running backs, I'd probably not start him over somebody. But he's like a fringe RB2, like low end RB2. It's tough.
See, it's funny. I actually, it's kind of crazy. The Jets did not even activate James Robinson. I think they're probably done with him.
We talked about it at lunch. So they can't they don't want to activate him.
Right, because of the contract. The deal.
Yeah.
So that I thought was pretty fascinating that they think so low of him that they'd rather not even play him the rest of the season. But I actually think Zonovan showed I thought he was a tough runner.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he actually looked pretty talented. I was kind of shocked to see that he hasn't been even thought about. I don't know. I thought you trade for James Robinson, you must not like your running backs at all. And I was like, this guy looks like he could be an NFL running back.
Yeah,
I know
he was explosive. He was explosive. He looked the part.
Yeah. Also, just to be devil's advocate on the other side, it's your first start. It's not a start, but you're coming in, you're the guy. You know, you're gonna have a little bit extra juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to prove. Yeah, you're trying to prove that you belong in the NFL. This and that. I don't know if we get another huge game from him, but he also did fumble the ball.
Yeah. And it was the Bears.
It was the Bears.
It was the Bears.
And they were blowing them out.
Yep.
I thought I liked what I saw from him running the football. Like he showed the qualities that you need to be and to be like a running back in the NFL. But again, it's the Bears and it's one game, fresh legs, so it's hard to really judge him.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was just being. It's one game. If he does it again, by all means, I'm with it. I'm in.
He's a good size too. 5'11", 210, I think.
Question is, would you play Snell or would you play Knight? You had a choice.
Probably the upside. If I'm like between the two and it's guaranteed that Harris is out, I'd probably go Knight for the upside with the passing game because
he had 3 targets, 2 catches.
Yeah, it's still tough. It's gonna be close. The scoring difference won't be much.
Yeah, you would like to think that the Vikings are gonna put points on the Jets. Not gonna
I'd like to think like that, but
yeah, you never know with how Cousins is doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's kick off the next game. We have the Commanders versus the Giants. Were we wrong with Brian Robinson? No, Brian Robinson just had a good game.
This is exactly what we thought. It was that it's matchup dependent,
Yep.
You're playing the Falcons. Falcons are terrible against a run. 18 carries, 105 yards, couple receptions, and a touchdown. He fell into the end zone.
I think Gibson's hurt too.
He was banged up.
Yeah, which is good. I don't think he practiced, which is good for if you do have Brian Robinson. I think I would definitely be starting him now, especially if Gibson is out.
Yeah, I don't hate him this week. He definitely could reach like a deeper team lineup, But Mike, you have a cord in front of your face, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah, you look like an idiot.
I always look like an idiot. It doesn't matter.
There's definitely better options out there. But if we're gonna keep going back to like the Benny Snell and now Zonovan Knight, I'd rather start Brian Robinson for sure.
So I just wanted on the Gibson injury. So he practiced on Wednesday. He was limited, and then on Thursday he just did not participate at all. I don't know if that's
a bad sign. That's bad. That's really bad. That's trending towards not playing then.
Yeah.
Yep. I do like Brian Robinson a little bit this week.
And Giants are getting a lot of players on the defense, but they're all coming. There's like 6 or 7 players coming back from the defense basically. It's not good. It just shows how bad our defense has been.
Yeah.
They'll have volume at the very least.
Yeah.
So
we have good players. We have good players when all of our starters are there. We just don't have depth.
I'm just saying for Brian, like the matchup aside, I'm just saying he'll have volume if there's no Gibson at the very least.
Yeah, you'll get another 18 carry game and then 90 to 100 yards, hopefully a touchdown.
The next question is, are we concerned about Barkley?
Yeah, a little bit.
My answer is absolutely.
A little bit. He's been a little bit off. A couple weeks ago, he left the game with a bruised shoulder or whatever it was, whatever they called it, bum shoulder. And he hasn't been the same ever since.
What's even more troublesome is the fact that Jones is not running the ball. When Jones runs the ball, at least it's another option to keep Barkley, to make the defense, not know what it's going to do. It can, Jones can cut it to the left and they think that it's not Jones and they give it to Barkley. Jones is not running it. Barkley's not running it, and they're not passing the ball because there is nobody to pass the ball. I don't like it. There's nobody there. They lost Robinson to a torn ACL. They have nobody else. We literally have 3 bums at wide receiver, and then there's Galladay, who deserves to be, put down.
Put down.
Did Galladay play last week? He's not in.
He did.
Not in the box score. That's crazy. He's so
terrible.
I thought he caught a pass.
I didn't watch the game.
He wasn't. That's crazy.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. He was definitely played though.
Could have been Cager, or maybe Myrick, maybe Hodgins. Yeah.
He saw 30% of the snaps.
That's crazy. Daily,
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
I definitely am a little concerned for Saquon. No, like you mentioned, he looks a little banged up, and I think the Giants you're seeing more Breida for a reason, because they're like, okay, we can't just give Saquon 30 carries a game anymore. Like he's not going to make it, and especially if they want to give him an extension.
And especially with the way they try to use him, they use him a lot more in the second half when the team's starting to get beat up. Like how remember a few years ago when Zeke would get 28 carries a game.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's the same thing. You can't do that. It doesn't work like that. If you're not Derrick Henry, it doesn't work like that. Saquon up until this past week was on pace to have more touches than CMC in his record-breaking year.
Jeez.
So, it's not a good look.
When you see 9 in a box, there's no point in running them.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's like I've said for 2-3 weeks now. I mean, teams are like, they're not dumb. They're like, we're not going to just let you run on us. Like, it's just like, we know what's going to happen. You don't have any receivers to throw a football to.
The only good thing I would have to say is there's no, Breida is not going to be a goal line back. If they get in the goal line, they are going to give it to Barkley or they're running with Jones. That's the only. He's going to end up being a touchdown dependent running back.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's weird he hasn't been involved in the passing game. I think that's like kind of strange to me. But yeah, I don't disagree with that.
If there's a game where like you hope that you don't have to worry about, it's going to be against the Commanders. They have to win these. They have to win this game if they
for the Giants. This is a must-win game.
This is a must-win. They have
this
to win
one
this game.
and the Colts game. A couple weeks.
This one and the other Commanders game.
No, they need 9 wins. They need 9 wins. In reality, you just need 9 wins.
Because they're going to lose against the Eagles. They're going to lose against the Cowboys.
They got the Vikings.
Yeah,
they're going to lose against the Vikings.
I'm telling you, 9 wins, I think will get them in.
Giants have for the second half of the season, they have the hardest schedule.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Well, they actually play their division. That was the thing.
Yeah.
They didn't play any division games. They played the Cowboys once early in the season. That was it. Yeah.
All right, enough about my G-men. Let's talk about the Titans versus the Eagles. I'm not even going to talk about that person. Let's go to the next person. Devontae Smith.
Listen, I want to hear this bullshit of how he had a great touchdown.
It was luck.
Yeah.
Well, you got to mention who, because people listening don't know who you're talking about.
Listen, if they listen, they know who we're talking about. Treylon Burks.
Treylon
asthma attack.
Asthma. Did you see that man run 75 yards to get that fumble touchdown? He was 10 yards behind a guy who could be playing offensive line.
Yeah.
That's how slow he is. He's out of breath.
Henry outran him at 260.
He wasn't trying to outrun Henry.
Oh, by the way, just reported 2 hours ago, Treylon Burks is sick. You hate to see it. He's got his asthma. His asthma
attack is happening.
You don't like that.
He would have got shut down by the Eagles anyway. Let's face it.
No, the Eagles aren't shutting down anyone lately, man.
They're gonna shut down the one wide receiver they do have, Burks.
Their secondary has been dog shit lately, man. They got torched by Christian Watson and a bunch of Jordan Love randoms. I don't know.
Listen, that was a weird game last week for the Eagles. It just didn't make any sense.
Back road game.
Nobody could stop anybody, and they were both. Packers good defense, Eagles good defense. Nobody could stop anybody.
AJ Brown versus old team.
Yeah. AJ Brown versus old team.
It might be the biggest game of AJ Brown's year so far.
I'm telling you, he circled this game the minute the schedule came out. He tweets about him all the time.
Too bad he already had a 3-touchdown game, or this would have been the biggest game.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, AJ Brown, since that 3-touchdown game, has been basically useless. He caught a touchdown this past week.
Just 10 points.
Mm-hmm. Hasn't been great. He had 14 points last week. He's not the guy who we thought he was going to be. And it's not like he's not throwing the ball. Let's be honest. They threw the ball 28 times. That's more than
Devontae Smith.
We're supposed to.
Just throwing Devontae Smith.
Christian Watson.
Not even last week. Last week it was a weird combination because I think Smith had only 5 catches.
Yeah,
AJ had a couple.
But he had 9 targets.
Yeah.
9 targets.
Yeah, but it's like, how many completions did Hurts have? He had a 20.
16.
Oh, he had
Yeah,
he had a
16
really bad
for
game.
28. I mean, he ran for 157 yards. They were doing whatever they wanted.
Yeah,
They could have broken the single game rushing record. It was bad.
literally. I thought at one point they were going to.
Mm-hmm. You know it's bad when Miles Sanders rushes for 143 yards. That's when you know you have a problem. They won't be able to do that though. The Titans are good against the run, so they're gonna have to throw the ball.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, this seems like an AJ. It smells like an AJ. I'm gonna fuck you guys up.
This smells like a Titans win. Is what this smells like.
That too could be that.
It smells like
Treylon Burks is gonna get that one.
Treylon Burks is gonna be coughing his brains out. He's not gonna be able to
It's
play.
gonna be a Henry game. It's 100% a Henry game.
Yeah.
Maybe. It'll be Treylon Burks sprinkled in there.
Yeah, you're just running behind Derrick Henry until he fumbles the ball. Yeah, that's a great way to get fantasy points. That should be eradicated from fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I had no idea he had touchdown credit. No idea. I didn't think that was a thing in fantasy that you got fumble
100%.
touchdowns.
100%.
You scored the touchdown.
Yeah, I just didn't know that you actually got points for that. I thought you.
I remember
Just
what
no one did.
I remember. I think one time I beat Billy because it was I got the remember I beat Billy that one year when Drake was on the Dolphins and they were just laddering it.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
right.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
brutal.
They count everything. I think I got an extra point and I won.
Yeah, I hate that.
Probably right.
Anyway, let's talk about a better team. The Broncos versus the Ravens.
He says, "Let's talk about a better team."
He has no idea who's coming up next. He's like, "Fuck."
No. I saw it. That was a joke.
I don't think there's a worse team in the NFL. that was a good joke, though, Mike. I'll give you that.
I don't think there's a worse organization than the Broncos.
Ah,
No, it's true.
they're
No,
pretty.
I think you're right.
As of right now, I'd rather be a Brown fan.
I think
But
there's.
Browns fan,
I think
I'd
all 31 teams would take their franchise over the Broncos right now.
They are done for the next 10 years.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a little. Next five.
I heard.
Not unless they find the next real Wilson, like in the 3rd or 4th round.
Listen, I heard somebody breaking down like the dead cap space on that contract, and it just gets worse and worse the longer they hold on to him.
Yeah.
It's like if they were going to get rid of him, you do it at the end of this year. Otherwise, you're fucked. You're truly fucked.
Dead cap, you know?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I'll try to find it.
He's like a top 4 paid QB or something.
Yeah.
He's not top 4?
I don't.
He's up
I don't know.
there.
With the new extension, he will be, but I don't think with this current one it is. But he's still up there. He's definitely top 7.
Yeah, they're. I don't think anyone has it worse than them right now, personally. But
Jerry Jeudy
Okay.
stinks. We told you. Still have
So,
yeah, Judy didn't practice. Go ahead, Mike.
today.
No, I don't. Let me check. I'll check real quick. Go ahead, Mike.
it's a 5-year, $242 million contract. That cap this year is 124. No, it gets better over time.
No, his guaranteed money each year is different.
Well, his dead cap is 124 this year if they cut him, 107 next year, 85 in 24. In 2025, it's close to 50 mil.
Yeah, I mean, in 2025, you haven't won a game in 4 years.
He has an option. It says he has an option in 2023.
No,
He does.
I think that's wrong.
That's his old contract.
That's his old contract, Mike.
Yeah.
Because he
Is
got
it?
an extension that doesn't kick in until next season.
Yeah.
So he's playing out his current contract, and that new contract kicks in next year, I believe.
Also, in 2026, he gets 58 million.
Yeah.
That's the cap. That's the
Something
cap.
like that.
Yeah.
They don't
It's
have
not-
an out until 2025, like a legitimate out till then, like one where the cap's manageable.
Yeah. It's not great because nobody's going to take on that contract.
No one's trading for that. I have the graph down there. Russell Wilson still has more bathrooms than he does touchdowns this season in his house. He has 12 bathrooms, and I love looking at this chart every week to see if it's become such a great meme that he hasn't passed that mark.
I haven't seen this, so I like that. It's great.
Yeah, the bathroom-o-meter. Yeah, good. It's pretty good. But yeah, Jerry Jeudy didn't practice again today, likely not playing this week. But on the Ravens side, J.K. Dobbins returned, and I posed the question, do you like anything on the Ravens backfield?
No,
I'm not playing anybody.
I didn't like it when the season started, and we're going on to week 13, and I still don't like anything now.
It's even worse now
Yeah,
than I liked it in the beginning of the year, because at the beginning of the year, we didn't know what Dobbins was. Now we do. Coming back from injuries, obviously going to be on a snap count. You're going to assume that Edwards sees 10 carries, Dobbins 5, Drake 5, Hill 2. Like that's how I see it. Like everybody's going to see the ball. Should be a revenge game for the whole, not a revenge game, but you would think that the Ravens would want to bounce back. They need a win. They need a win now. Yeah. The Ravens need a win. Broncos only have a defense, which I think they're getting pretty tired of. Let it ride. So
let's ride.
Like there's nothing here. The Broncos there's nothing to own on the Broncos. And
Courtland Sutton's been playing better, but he's consistent. Yeah. He's a flex spot now. In the last 3 weeks, 12.6, 13, 13.5. He's getting progressively better. Russ just can't throw the ball.
The Russ reports are comical, man. Like there's been so much about him this week. They had his birthday party and less than half the team showed up, which is kind of like middle school. Like who gives a fuck? Like that's probably an average turnout, but it's just funny because it's Russ. Then you got Mike Purcell screaming at him on the sidelines during the Panthers game, like shut the fuck up, like you stop saying let's ride. Like it's just comical.
Yeah, he's probably saying that. This is probably the worst part. Is he's probably saying it on the sideline. Come on, let's ride. And it's like you just lost to the Panthers. Like, what are you doing?
I knew they were going to lose to the Panthers. I knew it.
Yeah, I bet them. I bet Panthers money line. That was one of my plays, but yeah, they're I don't know. Ugly for the Broncos right now.
It's ugly for games.
Let's talk about the biggest game. I think for everybody is going to be the Browns versus the Texans. Yes, the Texans are going to be trash, but we get to finally see Mr. Hansy himself, DeShaun Watson, play football again in this league. And there's going to be over 10 girls from the lawsuit there rooting for him on the sideline.
Is there?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't understand this report. Yeah. Why are they there? Like I
don't know how they
mind games. Texans money line. This is mind games. That's so easy.
I really don't know how it's not a do not I don't know. I don't know how there's not paperwork to say you're not allowed to be there.
I don't know.
Is that not harassment?
No. Harassment. It's harassment. Watson got sued. It wasn't Watson didn't sue them.
You wouldn't think they have a something against him to not be around?
Like a restraining order? No.
Restraining order or something?
No. They're trying to catch another lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't think you could file a restraining order against someone who sued you for sexual harassment. I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah.
It just seems fishy to me.
I'm telling you, this game is the most fishy game in the world. I'm telling you, I don't know what Texans are going to win this game.
I don't know what the stats are with quarterbacks returning to playing their old team, but I'm almost positive they lose. Like it's got to be upwards of 70% of the time.
Did Russ win? No.
He lost.
What's the stat for QBs that came back after 2 years?
Yeah.
That's the stat we need to know. Who's came back after 2 years?
Yeah.
You would have to find a QB with a horrible injury.
Would you play him this week in fantasy?
I am playing him in one league because I have Kyler on bye, and I'd rather take the shot on him than Mike White.
You gotta hope for 60 rushing yards.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the rushing upside because I don't think we're really gonna get a lot of it passing.
Yeah. 60 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. I would say that's your upside. Maybe 190 passing yards. 190 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 60 rushing yards. That's like your upside.
For sure, I'm not starting him over like the people who have been playing all year long. Like, unless you have Kyler and like you're on a bye, like then it is a reason to. But like nobody owns a Panthers quarterback. So like there's very few reasons at this point in the season why you're just gonna start messing up your lineup. I don't see the upside there. That's kind of where I'm at.
I think a lot of people are throwing him in their lineup this week, thinking they're going to get the 303-yard, 3-touchdown game from Deshaun Watson, and I don't think that's going to be the case.
Nope, you're not. Our next question was: are you starting Dameon Pierce because he's been dog shit? And my answer is yes, because the Browns are 3rd worst in the NFL, giving up fantasy points to running backs. I just think it's a smash spot for him. Texans want revenge of everything Deshaun Watson did. It's just one of those games, man. This is one of those
games where like it's gonna be just like a bloodbath, and there's nobody more I want on my team than Dameon Pierce, one of the hardest running backs in the league in this position right now.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a touchdown week 8, back-to-back games with less than 5 points.
That's what we
16 yards.
This is a bounce-back game.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, like, the Browns could be just running the ball down their throats, too. So,
yeah.
Everybody knows Texans the worst.
Yeah, the worst. So,
the more I'm thinking about this game, the less I like Deshaun Watson. I might just go pick up Mike White.
Mike White. That's the way to go, baby.
I think I'll take that shitty game from Mike White over the Deshaun Watson. I'm thinking, but we'll see.
I have to win this. I have to watch this game. That's just a must.
Yeah, you have to watch some kind of game this week.
Yeah, I fuck the Giants. Let's watch the Browns. All right, next up we have the Seahawks versus the Rams. It's hard to even watch the Rams anymore.
Everybody's shut down for the year.
Everybody shut down. It's embarrassing. I even think who I can't think of his name.
Cam Akers isn't. So, Higbee? You're talking about tight end?
No, they even shut down the defensive tackle. Who's the
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Donald is hurt.
Sprain.
He's done.
He's done. Everyone they know. Let's go get they don't even have a draft pick, so let's get the rest of the draft picks up and going for them.
Yeah, probably no Stafford, no Cam Akers. It sounds like.
Yeah,
getting ugly.
Biggest upset is Williams, their running back. I guess.
Biggest upset.
I mean, I wasn't exactly thrilled with what we got, but like,
no.
11 attempts, 35 yards. I don't love that. Cam Akers, he's sick this week, but he had 8 touches and had more yards. I'm not loving it. I'll tell you that.
I just don't like the backup play either. That's what's hurting it. If Stafford was in, I would like Williams a lot more.
Nah, I don't think it matters. The offensive line's dog water.
Yeah, at least Stafford could throw a little bit to the running back.
I think Perkins is better just because of the read option. Like that's the only thing I think that helps their running backs, but they still can't run block, which is a pretty big problem. But this is a nice stretch. Like if you're gonna start Kyren Williams because you're desperate, I mean the Seahawks are 29th against the run, Raiders 16th, Packers 31st, Broncos 19th, Chargers 28th, and then they play the Seahawks again. So I mean, in theory, it's a decent matchup on paper for a flex play.
In theory,
you're trying to suck his dick.
No, in theory, Kyren Williams is going to take me to the playoffs in the Twitter league. So. In theory.
I have him. Hold on. I think I have. Oh, I have him in the.
You have him in the listener league.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I've been staring at his name all week in my flex. So.
By the way, if you guys didn't know, I'm going to win 3 leads. It's the first time it's ever been done. Bang, bang, bang. I'm winning them all 3. Bang, bang, bang.
Sure, yeah.
Just calling it right now.
Yourself.
Bang, bang, bang. Twitter league. Our league with the degenerates, with all of our followers. I'm winning that league, and I'm winning our home league where the big money is. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
All right. Next game.
We'll see.
Something with some meeting. Raiders versus the Chargers. Chargers with a huge win last week. Going for the 2-point conversion to win it. Mike Williams did not practice. He's not going to play this week. 0 shot. So if you have Palmer, he's a good play this week, especially against the Raiders.
Is that confirmed 0 shot he plays this week?
He didn't practice again
practice
today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
he didn't
saying.
practice.
And
I'd say it's very low chance he plays.
they have no reason to play him against the Raiders. They don't even need him against the Raiders.
No, they can just play all offensive linemen running routes and they beat the Raiders.
I think so, yeah.
Fuck Josh Jacobs. Can we just say that?
That's true.
Greatest 6th-round pick ever.
No, it's not
Jacobs.
because like in regular drafts last year, you could have gotten Cooper Kupp in the 5th, 6th round. So, I mean,
No, it was 4th. It was 4th.
Yeah.
It wasn't 5th, 6th.
close. It was close.
Jamar Chase was 6th last year. So
I mean, so you're just back. You're just taking steps back now. That's what we're doing here.
I'm just saying. I mean, what an unbelievable year he had. Like, I don't know that no one thought this. I mean, people thought he could be good because it was a contract year, like Mike kept saying.
I said that
all summer. So but this is unprecedented.
It's going to end up being one of the worst things not to ever sign him to his 5th-year contract ever.
Yeah,
horrible. Like, imagine not paying a running back like $10 million because you guys were too cheap to do it.
Yeah,
because it's not. In theory, it's not good to pay a running back.
It's in theory to get a $10 million running back when you have him under contract. Yes, it is.
I mean, they're running his legs off. He rushed it 33 times last week.
He had 40 touches.
7 targets.
40 touches. Insane. Yeah. I am worried. I think he could be like Saquon, where it's just becoming too much. Like, he's not going to practice all week.
He's sick.
Who? Jacob? Jacobs isn't sick. He's just not practicing. He's just so banged up.
Sick. Yeah.
I mean, they could just be tossing that on there. They could just toss that. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone
banged up.
Not joking, right? The whole world is sick right now. Everyone's coughing right now.
Yeah, I was just sick. Yeah. That's why we're recording this.
Like CVS is out of like Robitussin because everyone's sick. Not even joking.
Yeah. But that's why, like, he's banged up. And I'm like concerned. That's why I would pick up Zamir White in most leagues, because if Josh Jacobs goes down, there's only one other running back they're really going to run the ball with. So
I mean, it could be Amir Abdullah too.
Yeah.
That's like a passing guy. They ain't going to run the ball with him.
I had the ball. He ran more times than Zamir White did last week.
Yeah, because he plays on 3rd down. Zamir only comes in if Jacobs needs a break.
Yeah, well, I'm just throwing it out there, man. Just being devil's advocate to you.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Listen, that's what we like. I like to do that here on a lot too. So
yeah.
So Green, tell us about your boy, who you traded for, Allen.
Keenan Allen. I mean, he looks good. He looks like Keenan Allen, which I'm not shocked. It's just, can he stay healthy is going to be key. But it looks like his old self.
Yeah,
solid game for him.
This week, maybe 15 catches going against the Raiders.
It could be a big game for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could. It definitely has a great matchup. But, if you own him, if you drafted him, you're kind of like, I can't imagine you're even in playoff position right now, considering he was a 2nd-round draft pick. But this is what you expected. It was like the steady 15 points a game. And that's what he's been the first 2 weeks back, even on a limited snap count. So, or somewhat limited, not like super limited. I don't really know what else to say about him.
Yeah,
he's Keenan Allen.
Yes, he's Keenan Allen. It was just like a weird question. It was just, that's Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen.
You guys wrote the question. I asked it.
Yeah, I thought he was mentioning that was it.
Shut up. Dolphins versus the 49ers. This is an interesting game. 2 good teams, 2 good offenses.
1 good defense.
1 good defense. 49ers they haven't gave up a second half point in the last 5 games or something.
I mean, they gave up 0 points last week.
Yeah.
I mean, their schedule's been kind of a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now going against the high-powered Dolphins. Talk about Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell hurt the same injury almost, sprained MCL. Out 6 to 8 weeks, probably out for the season.
He's probably done.
Dunzo.
Yeah.
CMC did not participate. His knee.
No, he played today. He practiced today.
That's today.
Yeah, he said, and then after practice, they interviewed him during the media time, and he said he's playing on Sunday. Who else? Raheem Mostert. Is he going to play?
He's limited, but who cares because Wilson's the main back.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Wilson and Mostert might be looking to get payback here, right? A little revenge game. Mostert was going back and forth with Debo on Twitter.
A little tag team off the top rope. You know, the Hardy Boys.
They could both go. They're not. I don't know. They're both gonna go at it.
Well, it's a bad matchup for them.
It is horrible, but they might want to show something. They might want to show something.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure McDaniel does. I mean, that's his old team as well. Yeah, this is a good game. Like, this one definitely want to be tuned in. A lot of good games this week, in my opinion. But
yeah, it's good weekend.
Interesting narratives. Yeah,
it's good for the NFL to get these nice games in. Weather's turning, playoffs are starting soon. Like, hey guys, don't forget about us. I know, championship college football's here this weekend, but don't forget, they do it every year. They do this every year.
Yeah. I'm more curious of who. So, all right, it sounds like Christian McCaffrey's going to play then. So then everyone who picked up Tyler, whatever his name is, Talon Davis, I always forget his name.
Tyrion Davis Price.
Wasted their time is what I'm hearing.
I mean, you wasted your time.
You don't think he'll be the second back?
No.
I mean, he should be. Well, who else do they have? They don't have a lot of
Mason.
out for the
year. Yeah, Mason.
Oh, Mason.
Mason is Mason's similar in run style, I would say, as he's like a faster type running back. I would think personally that they should go with the more heavy run, truck stick type running back as in Davis. That's what I would personally think.
I've thought about this for a long time, many years now. Why don't they just have this carousel of these running backs? Tell Kyle Juszczyk to lose 15 pounds because he's never hurt. He's always healthy. Why don't they just use him?
What you want like the Browns? What's the Browns? Hayden Hillis.
Yeah.
You want to be on the Madden cover again?
Come on, man.
I think.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think we're gonna start seeing Debo back at running back.
Yeah,
a lot more.
A lot, I don't know, but more.
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not saying right at this game. We don't really talk about playoffs because we're we're a fantasy podcast. But in the playoffs, you're gonna see him have 10 to 12 carries a game.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. They can't put Elijah Mitchell on IR again because if they do, his season's over.
But it is over.
Over. They want him to come back for the playoffs. So
playoffs.
We're on week 13.
Going to put him on IR.
6 weeks that's week 20.
Is he back by week 18?
At best.
Yeah.
That's 5 weeks. Week 18 is 5 weeks. Week 6 to 8. So week 19, which would be they're going to have a bye most likely. It's possible.
Yes. No. They won't have a bye because only one seed gets a bye.
Only one seed gets a bye. But he could be back for the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying they're going to carry him on their roster the rest of the year because they can't put him on IR. It's just funny. Like they're just stuck with this dude not playing for the rest of the season until the playoffs at some point.
I mean, they shouldn't have traded Jeff Wilson away. That's what they shouldn't have done.
Now they regret it.
It's a bad move.
Probably.
That's enough of those teams. Let's talk about it. Probably the two best teams going against each other. Chiefs versus the Bengals. Darius Toney. Don't even talk about him. He fucking sucks.
He's in practice. Getting better though.
Yeah. He's been getting better for fucking 16 weeks. Joe Mixon concussion. He probably will be back this week. He was limited Wednesday. We all know it takes 2 weeks to be back from a concussion in this year. And finally, we should see Chase back. I think at least.
That's the rumor.
This is a must-win for the Bengals. Not a must-win, but they should win if they have playoff hopes. They have to catch up. And we have to say that the Chiefs signed Melvin Gordon, so goodbye to every other running back on that team.
Did Did I not call this like 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
when they cut him? I was like, Melvin Gordon of the Chiefs makes way too much sense.
So did I. I said it was going to be like Bell signing with the Chiefs. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not going to matter because he's they're just going to be
stinks.
like every other veteran running back they sign, including Ronald Jones, who we saw last week, that they just never play. And they're just there for a ring.
If anything, maybe he's a goal line back for them. Maybe. But I don't know if they
No.
I don't even
No.
I don't even want to risk it with his fumbling issues.
No, man.
They'll never touch the goal line. Never. They'll put Spinorama in before they put in freaking Melvin Gordon.
I miss talking about Spinorama week in and week out.
Yeah. He never had that drinking game. It'll never happen again.
Yep. Such a shame.
Oh, God.
I see this nice little thing you had to post about yourself about Patrick Mahomes and.
I sent it to Joe Green on Twitter the other day.
Willie's the one who sent me it.
Yeah,
so you're milking Joe Green over there.
Well, like I thought it was interesting because the day before on Sunday, I texted you guys. No matter what, I'm drafting Travis Kelce. I don't care if I get the first round pick next year. It doesn't matter. Travis Kelce.
It's a fact. You said it every year.
I'm done with
Kelce, you had 10%.
Yeah, I'm done with it. Mahomes Kelce stack was drafted 25% of the time for all leagues this year. 60% of those teams are either the 1 seed or the 2 seed right currently, and have already clinched playoff berths, getting ready for the championship rounds.
I think if you guarantee yourself a playoff spot, if you had the stack of obviously Mahomes and Kelce or Diggs and Allen.
Yeah, but the thing with Kelce, especially this year, is he's putting up top 5 wide receiver numbers at tight end.
I mean, he always does that.
Yeah. Right. That's why you have a 10% a better chance of making the playoffs. And 2 years in a row, everyone lets me against Kelce in the second round. It's crazy.
I didn't let you do it. I didn't let you do it. You did it on your own.
You're worried about me getting Josh Allen. And I'm like, I just got Travis Kelce in the second round again because Justin took Mark Andrews. So,
sure. I was worried about I was worried about you getting Allen because you had Diggs. Because I thought you were going to Diggs. Imagine, folks. Imagine.
I could have saved our league, and he just chose not to.
Yeah. Imagine this team he would have had, and this is just the top of my head. He would have had Cooper Kupp,
Diggs, Allen, Kupp,
Diggs, and who's the third one? Oh, and Chase.
Yeah.
Those 3 at wide receiver, and then Allen.
Yeah. And then Josh Jacobs because he drafted him in the 6th round.
Because he's a Raider fan, and he's going to pick him anyway.
No, I was suckered into drafting Darren Waller. That's me.
You were.
I mean, at the time there was value there, but besides,
there was no value. There, he was the 10th.
No, he was a good value. He was
in the 5th round in a keep league. That's value.
Yeah,
it was off my board.
5th round. There was good value.
Yeah, I get it. You don't understand value. I know.
There was good value. I really think if he stayed healthy, he would have finished as a top 3 tight end, but obviously it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Travis Kelce. I mean, do you trust him next year? You're like all in first, second round.
I don't give a fuck anymore, man. I don't care. The difference. I'm taking Travis Kelce to be on at least 2 of my teams. Doesn't matter where I'm drafted.
If they win the championship, you think Kelce's just like, you know what, I'm gonna retire?
That's a possibility.
I don't think so.
I think he wants to break the tight end record. That's what.
You know what's funny is that he's not even close to Gronk in touchdowns, and he had more catches than him.
Yeah,
he's not even close.
See, I don't think he retires because he hasn't had any major injuries in a long time.
He gets hit so many times.
Yeah, but if you're not like tearing anything, you could kind of keep going. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's going to keep playing. He's 30. He's going to be like 34 next year. He's getting up there.
Look at this. Look. I try to jump a 6-foot wall, and I have this bruise. You don't think Kelce's fucking hurt me?
Yeah, well, Kelce's a professional athlete, and you're a fat.
What do you think I am at 6'4"?
You're a fat fuck.
A professional drive-through eater.
What'd you say I was?
A professional drive-through eater.
Professional what?
Drive-through eater.
Listen, I could read those boards very well.
Yeah, when you put those glasses on, you can.
Next up, Colts versus Cowboys. Not much to say about the Colts. They just stink. The Cowboys is who are we trusting at running back? Zeke week, Pollard week, Zeke week, Pollard week. I feel like it's going to continue going forward.
I think a lot of Zeke being good this weekend was he just is always good on Thanksgiving. He's good every year. He wants that turkey leg. He likes to show off his belly, eat that turkey leg. But rest of the season, I'm riding Pollard. He still had more attempts than Zeke, more involved.
For those who don't know, I said I was going to start Pollard over Barkley. I got ripped for it. Pollard should have been it was the better play. He had 16 carries for Barkley's 6 or 7 carries and one touchdown.
I think 11.
11. Either way, it was a better play for Pollard. Barkley hit the touchdown. Like I said, I think Barkley is going to be touchdown dependent, and I think Pollard's going to continue seeing hopefully 12 to 15 carries, and hopefully breaks one apart. And maybe hopefully he sees more targets in the passing game. That's what I hope.
Yeah, Thanksgiving I think it's just always a Zeke day. That's kind of where I was like, you're going to start Tony Pollard over him. It's not a great play. That's where my mind was, but I don't want to give you that information because we're in a league together.
I think you want the cap. If you want to start Pollard, and you feel good about it, I feel better if the Cowboys are playing teams with better offenses.
Yeah. And this isn't one either.
Because I don't want to see Zeke. If they're ahead, and they're ahead in most games lately, going against. I mean, they have one of the easiest second half teams schedules. Zeke's going to eat a lot more than Pollard. Just simple fact. Play off the clock.
Interesting.
Any arguments?
No.
All right.
There's not much on the Colts, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's nothing. No.
Pittman looks good again. But,
yep.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford. That's
Matt Ryan.
Not Stafford, Matt Ryan. I mean, the same thing.
Yeah. How about real quick, Jeff Saturday being the worst coach of all time, not taking any timeouts.
You don't need timeouts. He's working on conditioning right now.
Yeah, okay.
Working on losing football games. I don't know.
Saints first. Brutal. Yeah, talking about conditioning. We're going to condition through this one. Saints versus Buccaneers.
That was good. I like that.
That was good.
Mike Evans does nothing, and Chris Godwin carries the team with 18 receptions. This is last
2 weeks.
This last 2 weeks.
I feel like this is like Marshall 2.0. Like he's just getting featured, and he's the only one that matters.
Ever since this divorce thing came out, Mike Evans just been dog shit. So I think Mike Evans is the reason why they got divorced. I said it last week. I'm saying it this week. He was doing something with Giselle. Took her out to dinner. I don't know what it was, but
he's watching.
And this week he's going against Lattimore. So
he's playing the stepdad to his kids already.
He was not anymore, I guess, because he's useless now.
No, but he saw targets. I think Brady just sucked at throwing him the ball. Evans was open so many times, and he just missed them. I mean, he had 9 targets.
There was a Hail Mary play at the end of the half, and where just ran 4 verticals, 3-on-1, and Mike Evans by himself in the other. He had that guy by 6-7 yards, and he still threw it into the group. I fucking hate that. I hate that. It's such a bad play call.
Well, I think you guys. I think for the fantasy wise, people that don't realize they lost their right tackle. I think the Bucs are done after this. Yeah. I think that's how big of a factor losing their best offensive lineman is. The fact that they already lost 3. Downhill from here.
Yeah, they're in bad shape. But this is why I wanted Chris Godwin. I wanted him badly. I tried to get him from Steve, but Steve wanted a ridiculous haul from him. But he's their option. He's their option.
Well, how big of a haul? I mean, you got Henry for a simple 2nd round pick.
He wanted a 4th. I wasn't doing that. For me, that's a lot. I don't know. I didn't even need Godwin. It was kind of more of an insurance thing. I'm not doing that. But I like Godwin a lot because he gets these short intermediate passes. He's healthy. Now he's seen touchdowns in back-to-back games. Yeah, I think there's a lot of upside. Yeah, the injury worst definitely hurts the entire offense. It hurts White, it hurts Evans, it hurts Godwin. Like anyone, that's really putting them in a bad spot.
Like if you have just real quick, Mike Evans gets locked up by Lattimore year in, year out, twice a year, guaranteed. If you have a better option, don't be afraid to bench Mike Evans this week. It's just an honest opinion. Like I've owned Mike Evans 2 years. I've seen it multiple times now. It's just not going to happen. It's not his week again.
He's also been playing bad. Like we have people in the DMs ask me every week if they should even play Mike Evans, and I thought it was kind of crazy. But then I looked and I was like, "Oh,
yeah, it's been bad.
Got a rough stretch. It's been bad.
It's been bad. That's why I'm on my losing streak. It's been bad."
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to talk about Fournette and Rachaad White. Fournette's expected to be back. White had a huge week last week. What are we doing? Yeah. I'm still playing White.
Yeah.
I think so too.
The guy who gets 9 receptions, I'll take him.
White was able to run the ball, catch the ball. Not that Fournette can't do both, but Fournette's old, fat.
Yeah, coming off an injury. And here's the thing. They're still technically in first place.
Yeah.
If you're playing well, they lost in overtime to the Browns. It was weird. It was a weird game. I don't think they rushed Fournette back. I don't think you need to. And Saints are just bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but Fournette's gonna be back. I mean, he's practicing, so he's gonna see time. I think honestly, their offensive line's so bad that you're just hoping for receptions from these running backs at this point because they're not going to get more than 50 yards rushing.
But you got a bunch of them last week, so
exactly. You're praying he might have more than 10 catches. Simple as that.
I don't care anymore. He's not playing against me this week.
It's good though, and we've said this in the waiver wire video. He was a must pick up, especially if you had Fournette. Yeah. I mean. Listen to all the waiver wire videos.
We said it in the beginning of the year.
You need to win before it happens. You got the game plan for it. He was probably the number 1 backup running back, to own.
No, it was funny. Up until the week before the deadline, Greg thought Leonard Fournette was a great value. That someone he was going to get a steal from someone. I was like, Greg, do you not watch the news? Bro, no one wants Leonard Fournette. He's losing his job.
So he's not going to know. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have Twitter, you're not going to win your fantasy league.
That's facts. If you're not following us on Twitter and us on YouTube and us on, you're not going to win your fantasy league. That's where you're not going to lose.
That's facts.
All right, let's talk about Kamara. This is all you, Billy. You're a big Kamara owner.
Unfortunately. Listen, I thought I had a great value getting Kamara late in the second round, and everything was going to be great. Life couldn't be better, right?
And Dalton starts, and we're like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's even better. Check down Dalton. He's only scored a touchdown in 1 game this year. Hasn't had 13 fantasy points since week 8. It's just brutal. Tampa Bay, their offense is dog shit, but they solid run defense still. I can't trust Alvin Kamara, man. I can't do it. He's hurt me between him and Justin Jefferson. That team has just made me so sad. So sad. How could you do this to me? This week I don't know. If you say you have Dameon Pierce and Alvin Kamara and somebody say you went running back in the first 2 rounds and drafted Dameon Pierce later on, You don't know if you play Kamara or Pierce. It's absolutely Pierce. If you don't, he's a flex play at best. I don't know what happened.
I wouldn't like him against the Bucs anyway.
No, I don't. The matchup's even worse. But the Saints have to do something. I don't know what they're doing. They're a mess. They scored 0 points. He had 13 rushing yards last week. 13. It's not good.
He has 1 game. He scored all 3 touchdowns in 1 game. But
it was a good week for me. I was happy.
Yeah,
I think that's the only week Kamara owners are happy all season.
Yeah,
that's the last time we heard from Jay.
That is honestly like he hasn't said a word in the group chat in a month.
I know. I think that wraps it up for us, folks.
All
Hopefully,
right.
you guys are enjoying the Bill game right now. If Billy's right and the Patriots win by 6, send him some love. You know you're watching the video. If you know, send. We want sixes in the chat. If
Sixes in the
chat.
Great chat.
If you're watching this video, all right. To wrap it up for us, Billy.
Like, follow, subscribe, all the things below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and check out Mike's waiver wire videos to help you win your fantasy leagues, especially in the playoffs. Mike's going to give you some tips and tricks to help build your roster this weekend. So
it's all about stream plays for the fantasy playoffs, baby.
A week ahead. Be a week ahead, not a week behind. That's how you win fantasy. See you guys next week.
Mooches.